As many of us predicted, this episode featured the death of Aqualad. The unfortunate death. I say unfortunate because anytime you see a new character introduced on a show like this, you just think about, what storylines they could tell with the character, the cool, interesting powers. And he did have some cool powers in this episode. He was a waterbender. Aqualad, this version of Aqualad, does not have that power in the comics. That's the second Aqualad, who has the power to control water. I guess they gave him this for the show to make him seem cooler, I guess. Because the original OG Aqualad, who this is, he was basically had the same powers as Aquaman. And Aquaman can't control water. So I guess they wanted to give him some water, manipulation powers for some added flair. We saw him in his relationship with Wonder Girl. Aqualad and Wonder Girl didn't have a relationship in the comics. Not that I remember. They made that up for the show. But I thought he was a cool character. Too bad he's not going to be around unless they figure out a way to resurrect him. But I thought they did a good job with him. I thought he looked cool. I thought the guy who played him did a fine job playing him. It was unfortunate that he was taken out by Deathstroke. However, the interesting thing about Deathstroke when he shot him with that bullet, was he actually trying to kill Aqualad or was he aiming for Wonder Girl? We don't know yet who hired or contracted Deathstroke out to do the killing and who his target was. But, given the way Aqualad was positioned when he was embracing or standing in front of Wonder Girl, I'm wondering if he really meant to shoot Donna, or maybe that lady who was with her, Jillian. Although he wasn't trying to kill Jillian, she was standing he would have just shot her. And Deathstroke's not a bad shot. So I don't know, maybe his target actually probably was Aqualad, or maybe it was Donna. We'll find out next episode, because I think, their beef with Deathstroke for killing one of their owns, that's, starting their downfall, right? Because Jillian said something to Donna at the end of near the end, where she said, vengeance takes you down a dark path, but all the Titans, they want vengeance against Deathstroke. They're avenging one of their own. They're falling. And we even see, Dick, he's becoming more Batman-like, when Dove says, be Batman. He's stalking Deathstroke's son, acting like he's Deathstroke's son's friend, which seems kind of, sneaky or nefarious for, a good guy to do, hunting down the child of someone who killed someone you liked. It's like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and the Titans, I guess, are supposed to be better than that. So I'm wondering, their quest for vengeance will be what causes their downfall, right? And what makes Deathstroke hate them even more than he already did, right? Because we see now in this present day, this episode was a flashback to the past. In the present day, Deathstroke still hates the Titans. Even more than he did before. I don't think he hated them. He just had a contract and was like, I'll kill somebody and leave them alone. So I'm wondering, what did they do? Did they rough up Deathstroke's son, Jericho? Is that the problem? Maybe they beat up Jericho or did something to him, or they accidentally got Jericho in trouble or hurt or killed or something. And that's why Deathstroke wants some mad vengeance. I don't know. I guess I should just wait until next week's episode. But I thought it was pretty cool, all the things this episode made you think about. And, the sadness. I thought Aqualad was cool and would have liked to see more of him on the show, but I guess maybe not. Unless Raven can bring people back to life. But no, he's been dead for 4 or 5 years. We'll see. But yeah, I'm thinking we won't be seeing him anymore. In the beginning of the episode, when they wanted to show off, that Deathstroke was a contract killer and a good assassin, a lot of the VFX they used, I felt, they looked kind of obvious. Not saying the VFX team didn't do a good job, but when he impaled that judge through the back and the sword came through the judge's chest, I could totally tell, the exit point, it looked kind of off with his body, the positioning. So I was like, yeah, that's totally fake. I mean, not that I would think it was real anyway. They aren't really killing people on shows, but still. The VFX did kind of stand out. But they looked fine. I mean, I'm just saying, I think I could tell what was going on, that wasn't real. More than I was supposed to be able to tell in that scene. And we got some love, like I mentioned before, Aqualad and Donna Troy, Wonder Girl. She was supposed to be, I guess, the archetype, usually it's the female character in these kind of storylines who, is bookish or really all about studying and I can't party too much. I gotta be, a good girl or whatever. And then, she comes out of her shell because of love or is tempted to. She was about to, I guess, embrace and have a relationship with Garth, Aqualad until he was killed. But, you know, Wonder Girl wasn't really buttoned down in the old school Titans. She was like someone who, you know, she was a socialite. You know, she was like someone who was in the New York, you know, social scene. She was mingling, hobnobbing with people. And in the old Titan storylines, when they were all little kids, she'd be running around having fun with all the, you know, the little boys. She wasn't ever really she was later on more mature and I guess sophisticated than some of the other Titans. But she certainly wasn't, you know, buttoned down and I can never, like, leave the house. That wasn't her personality at all. That's something they made up just for the show, this episode. Unless, I haven't read every single old Teen Titans comic, so maybe she was like that at some point. But in all the ones I read, you know, Wonder Girl, she would go out and get her social on. But on the show, they made it seem like, nope. I thought some of the banter that some of the Titans had early in the episode when they were supposed to be, like, goofing off and stuff was kind of stilted or sounded weird. And I can't tell if it was the writing or because it just didn't sound weird coming from the mouths of people who are obviously like a lot older than the characters they're playing on the show. Like people who were like in their 30s and stuff, like we're, you know, acting like, oh, hey, they're just, the way they were behaving didn't seem to match the ages of the people who were saying the lines. Maybe that's what it was, because a lot of it just seemed very like stilted or stiff or unnatural. I can't tell if it was the writing, but I think it's just because, you know, these characters obviously weren't, to me, as young as they were supposed to be on the show in that scene, that episode. But still, I mean, I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying nothing's perfect. Still a good episode, good show. And I thought another thing was cool, we got some more action when they fought Dr. Light once again. I guess this was their first encounter with him. But I like how Titans, even though, you know, it's a TV show budget, they still make time. There's quite a bit, you know, they're making use of the action scenes, right? It's not a show where no one does anything. And so I like that they're using their VFX budget as much as they can to make this still an action engaging show. I guess they would have to, right? If Titans was all about people just talking to each other all the time, nobody would watch it. So they need to use that money. But I thought they put it to good use. I like the use of Dr. Light's powers. I like the water bending that Aqualad did. You know, they don't seem too cheap to do what they got to do for a superhero show. And I like that. But yeah, I want to see next episode. I want to see, you know, we all know what Deathstroke's evil is, what his culpability is. But what have the Titans done to contribute to their own evil or their own, you know, the staining of their own moral character? I'm not saying they're not justified. I mean, if somebody kills one of your friends, I can understand how that could make you, like, lose your crap and, you know, go a bit, maybe very severely far down the dark side. So I'm not trying to say the Titans are bad people. But I'm just interested. I want to see what happens next. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.